Action Comics 1003. Connor can go for a bathroom break and get a snack if he wants. Because me and Matt are going to talk about Bendis, Brian Michael Bendis, and of course Yannick Paquette on the art. He's actually going for a bathroom break, the asshole. Look at him. So, yeah, Action Comics. And this was good. I never remember her first name.
Who are you talking about?
Good. The journalist.
Yeah. When you said this was good, I thought you were just talking about the issue.
Oh, no, Miss Good.
And then,
yeah. I keep wanting to say Megan, but that's the actress.
no. Yeah. No, I was just looking at that first page. So we get another one of these establishing shots of someone at the planet's desk.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the bit of paper first then? The story pitch on the desk? Yeah. Okay. So this is meant to be... I'm zooming in.
I was more talking about the eye patch Bendis mugshot.
Oh, I never noticed that. Oh, yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah. Very good. Okay, I guess we'll talk about this first then. So, yeah, there's a recap page, and it's meant to be Perry's desk, but on the desk there's a story pitch document and it's very meta. This is actually teasing something.
Yep.
It's called Leviathan. It's a DC Comics mystery event, and there's like a highlighter on the mouse or kind of covering key parts of it, so you can't read everything.
Yep.
But it says story idea discussion document by Brian Michael Bendis, creative team Brian Michael Bendis, and then the artist is blacked out, so you can't see who that is.
Redacted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it says starting in Action Comics 1007, it is revealed that something or someone is blah blah taking out all the secret organizations in the DC universe. First the dangerous Cobra cult, and you can't see who's next, and then the DAO and so on. So there's like a mystery one we can't see. And then the next part's overly covered. It says Clark and Jimmy kind of work together. Jimmy goes undercover.
It looks like Lois Lane is in there.
Yeah, Lois Lane, yeah. Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen go undercover and discover behind this organized, and it's too hard to read most of the rest of it. Nothing really makes sense after that.
I just love the Leviathan blank, good lord, then something grown larger and more blank, and just he knew what he was doing here.
Oh yeah, this is calculated. This is calculated the way this is done.
And then like on the other side of the mouse, it says the mysterious blank, old with that's slashed out, and then who watches the Watchmen is Leviathan. So like. I'm not gonna make too much of it. We'll see.
It's a fun tease.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's a fun tease for an Action Comics arc coming up.
But just like the Fire Jimmy sticker, there's on his computer. It's it's an email from DDO about a thoughtful children's story pitch for the Red Tornado to Perry. So DC Comics exists in this universe according to Bendis.
It's all too meta for that. Yeah. It's just a meta joke, I think. But yeah,
I think it's funny. Yeah. So we see Good. She goes to this dive bar, and she buys something important. Because it's talked about in hushes and whispers, and like we don't say that word here. We don't say his name. It's continuing the invisible mafia stuff.
Yeah, because later on, because obviously at the end of the book, she starts to say kryptonite, and the other woman snaps at her. You can't say that. He listens for that word, and sure enough, Superman shows up like seconds later. So it's really fun because it's kind of like almost like a military state, with a dictator or whatever, and you have. Like people like hiding, but this kind of turns it on its head because it's villains hiding from the good character who can hear them. Because normally it's like
it reminds me.
Yeah.
No, it just reminds me of how they don't say Voldemort in Harry Potter, just because his name has power.
Oh sure, I can see that. So I was thinking more like if you think of like Nazi Germany when like no one can say anything bad about the Nazis because the SS will come and get you.
Right.
It's kind of like that, but it's flipping it on its head because it's like people whispering and they want Superman to come and get them. It's the bad guys.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does Superman show up? If there's a bunch of kids going, oh yeah, no, who'd win, Batman versus Superman? And the kid goes, yeah, but Batman will have kryptonite. Oh look, Superman's there.
He shows him up and hangs that kid up on the basketball hoop and says, "Get down now. Call Batman."
I presume he will hover from above and listen to more of the conversation and then understand that they were just having a stupid...
Man, that sounds like way too much effort, because I guarantee you that is happening a lot every day.
You don't read it. Stop picking holes in it, Connor. Shut up, you ginger face. Right.
Sorry. Just had to.
So what I like about this issue is it has this thing where Good obviously has it in her purse and she comes to the Daily Planet and... the whole thing happens is that Clark collapses because he's feeling the kryptonite effects, and no one knows why. They all think he's collapsing and he's sick, and even she doesn't know that it's her that's doing it with the kryptonite. And I really like that premise, that he's collapsing and he's in pain. It's like he's having a heart attack almost, and everyone's like, "Oh, someone get an ambulance! Clark's fainting. Like he's in pain." But as soon as she leaves the building, she's fine. He's fine. Let's not gloss over the fact that he says to Jimmy, Lois says hi. Which, by the way, we ended the last issue with him, like, catching Lois, and we don't get that scene.
Yeah.
That Bendis is a sneaky bastard. He's making us wait for what that conversation was. The bastard.
Mm-hmm.
But
and it seems like Clark seems a little bit irritated at things, though. You know what I mean? Or am I just projecting?
I think he sounds like he's not happy about the arrangement, but he's agreed to whatever it is. He's agreed with Lois that she can do what she's doing, but he's not happy about it.
Yeah.
But as soon as she leaves, like, Clark gets up and he's like, "I'm fine." And then we cut to, like, Good walking through the street, and then her handbag just gets snatched, and she looks up and it's Batman. And she's like, "Batman?" And he's like, "Why do you have this?" And she's like, "How did you know? No. Like, I bought it like last night. How did you possibly know I had kryptonite?" And she has a little exchange with him where he says, "You've got a weapon of mass destruction," and she says, "Technically, it's stopping a weapon of mass destruction." And he's like, "I'm Batman. That's a good point. That's how I think."
Good point. Yeah, but I just love the way Gleason draws his postures. He's like, "Okay, I'll give you that one."
Yeah, but then he grapples away with it, and she's like, "Can I keep that?" And he's like, "No, you're not keeping it. It's kryptonite. I'm looking out for my buddy Superman." And I love how she's left standing there like, "Batman just mugged me."
Yep.
He just showed up in an alley and stole my property. What the hell? And then on you go.
No, so they're going away, and Batman tells him that it was for a story. He's like, "Oh, of course it was."
Yeah.
And he goes, "What are you gonna do with it?" And Batman's just like, "I'm having a friendship necklace made." He's like, "It'll be safe." He goes, "Thanks for that. You're the best." And Batman responds with, "World's finest."
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Oh, God damn it, Bendis."
Yeah, Bendis is like really hitting their friendship here. It's really working for me. And obviously we know it wasn't just for a story, that she has some, malicious intent, but she goes back to the place she bought it, and she tries to argue about it being stolen, and she thinks that they ratted her out because they're the only people that knew she had it. And that's when she says kryptonite, and Superman shows up. But before Superman gets there, the Red Cloud comes and kills the woman who sold the kryptonite. And
dude, straight up goon chokes her out. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
Imagine smoke doing a chokehold. That's essentially what it does.
Yeah.
And
goons her. She's done.
And Superman shows up, and Good like hugs him and says, "Oh, Superman, it was horrible. She's dead." But I love the panels at the bottom where she kind of like opens her eye and looks up to see if he's buying that she's upset and she's scared. It's a really good little sequential. Because that's the thing. I was a little bit disappointed when it wasn't Gleason at first. I was like, "Oh, it's not Gleason this time," and then Paquette nailed it. It's great.
Yeah. Well, and that's how I knew it was Paquette too. Was the way that Paquette does his borders for storytelling. So as soon as she brings the kryptonite in the planet, all the lines get wavy.
Yeah.
And he used to do that type of stuff in Swamp Thing.
Well, not even the lines, just
like
to be more. To be more specific, it's all the panels completely are wavy.
Yeah.
It's not just.
Well, that's what I meant by the lines. I meant to say the panel lines and the borders, they get all wavy and it's all discombobulated. And then as soon as it's out of the building, it goes back to straight, rigid lines.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was super cool. But yeah, his Paquette just.
Really good sequential art with the expressions. That moment was good at the end, especially. The Batman scene was great with the body language. Like you say, you just said that he got like from his language, his body language, how he said that line. It was really good.
Yeah.
So no, and then the final scene is that Lois is still working on whatever she's working on at the hotel, and none other than Lex Luthor shows up at the door, knowing she's there. I know.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, it's like he basically just says, yeah, whatever this says, it'll be interesting." So that's how we end. Lex is there to see Lois.
I love Lois's great Caesar's expletive.
Oh yeah,
because you can fill it in with anything and it works.
Yeah.
So, well done.
I think Lois is a foul-mouthed girl. I think that started with a C.
Yep. Probably. Most likely.
But also just the fact that she's using Perry's line. but she's making it worse. This is fun.
If they ever did a storyline where Perry retires and she takes over, and now she has to deal with Clark dumping out on her to go do Superman stuff, I think that could be a lot of fun because she knows, and now she has to cover for him doubly as boss and,
I'm really enjoying Superman. I think I'm on board now that action's the better of the two with this issue.
Good. Yeah, welcome to the good side.
Yes.
It's been my favorite. And usually that had probably to do with Gleason and the different tone of the book. Like, this is the Metropolis stuff. This is what I've been wanting. It's a Daily Planet book.
I think this, out of the Superman and action issues, or even the Man of Steel issues, I think out of all of Bendis' Superman, this is my favorite issue he's done so far, I think.
Makes sense. I really like the last issue. I thought the last issue was a lot of
they've
fun.
all been good. Yeah, I mean, both Superman and action have been solid.
Superman, I'm enjoying Superman, but it's more of that, big threat stuff.
Yeah.
This is still small Metropolis. I like him calling in Batman to deal with the kryptonite.
It's great.
It just makes sense. She's not going to question.
Yeah.
Batman just knows.
I just love that he can't do it, and I love that there's no setup for it. It cuts to Batman. He's there. He's called in Bruce to take care of the kryptonite. And it could have been Wonder Woman. It could have been Flash, whatever. It could have been any of them. But Batman, again, you got that best friend kind of thing going between them, and that's really delightful. So, super good. He doesn't
make a friendship necklace, I'm gonna be a little upset.
Yeah, I want a kryptonite friendship necklace with a bat symbol. Yeah. No, the Superman Batman symbol, because they're combined. Yep. Yes.
All right. Yep.
All right. What are you giving it, Matt? Let's rate it.
Really good. Oh, this is a 9. I'm thoroughly enjoying this book.
I agree with the 9 out of 10.